At this point, I would like to invite up here to speak, if he's ready. He's taking one more swig. Lieutenant Colonel Merrick. He is the Director of Diversity and Inclusion for the Minnesota National Guard. And I just want to take this opportune time, and hopefully I don't get all teary-eyed. I have a soft spot for the Minnesota National Guard because historically we are always there the first and the longest. We are the most devoted out of any of the National Guards in the United States, and I am very proud to call him to the stage. Thank you.
Well, Mary, you never said I was going to go first. That's a tough spot. Well, thank you very much for that warm welcome, and thank you all for coming here tonight to support Iseroon and the great work they're doing in and for the community. And I really want to say thank you to Fartoon for inviting me and the Minnesota National Guard, because I don't know if you know Fartoon. If she tells you to come and do something, you just do it and show up with a smile. And I just thanks for this opportunity to be able to speak. And I just want to talk a little bit about Veterans Day and the Minnesota National Guard. Veterans Day is for all those that have served. We remember those that are no longer with us. We honor our retired and our former service members. And we also thank our veterans that are still defending our country today. Today marks the 100th anniversary of Veterans Day. Originally, this day was known as Armistice Day, to mark the armistice between the Allies of World War I and Germany. That took effect on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918. And this is when it was first celebrated in 1919. So that's why we celebrate Veterans Day on November 11th. Throughout our past, men and women have joined the military service to support and provide for our country's freedoms. One of these services is the National Guard. The National Guard is comprised of both Army and Air Force branches of the military, which are represented this evening by my great crew that's over here on this table. We wanted to wear our different uniforms, so whenever you see us out in the community, you'll know what we look like, whether we're Army or in the Air Force, and we all know that the Army looks better. Okay. Part of our mission in the National Guard is to support the governor and the state of Minnesota during disasters. Whether it is natural disasters like floods or forest fires, or whether it's a natural disaster or domestic operation catastrophe like the 35W bridge collapse, or rescuing people stranded on soy roads, which we're actually getting ready to do now. Welcome to Minnesota. Your National Guard is always ready to respond. The Minnesota National Guard is comprised of soldiers and airmen from across our entire state, representing all its diverse communities. Iseroon has a statement on their website, which I'm sure you've seen, and I believe it truly makes them special. It states, "We are who we serve." They also put an emphasis on engaging the community, and that's evident by the support here this evening. And this is no difference from the National Guard. Our motto in Minnesota is we live here, we work here, we serve here. Soldiers and airmen from across the state sacrifice to be part of the Minnesota National Guard community, which is why it is important for the Guard to be connected to their communities. It is more than just being present, it is connecting and building relationships throughout all communities across our state. Although the National Guard is considered a part-time job, our citizen soldiers and airmen are fully committed to their service. Their ability to have other occupations, whether that's working for a business or owning their own, while still serving, gives them and the National Guard its strength. Key to the future of the Guard is the diverse representation of the state of Minnesota, as well as connecting with the communities we serve. We are grateful that we are building relationships with organizations like Iseroon. These individual and relationships provide opportunities to build trust and bring us together for the good of our state and nation. So if you see a soldier and airman in uniform in your community, or you know someone who served, give them a wave, just say hello, and thank them for their service, and let's continue to grow in gratitude together. Fartun, thank you so much for inviting me here today, and I just want to thanks for sharing a little bit about Veterans Day and the Minnesota National Guard. And this evening, as we get to break sambusa and eat later, please talk to our soldiers and airmen and ask some questions, whatever you want, about your Minnesota National Guard. Thank you.